All right, hey guys, Scaly Nelson here again. Today, I'm really excited to learn more about the Sandbox, which I've heard of course, a bunch, but I don't really know much about the details. So I'm excited to learn about this with everybody else. And I have with me today Marcus Blasche, the marketing
Yes.
director of Sandbox. And
Yes.
I'll give it away to Marcus.
Yeah. Hi, John. Very good job in pronouncing my surname. I know it's not the most straightforward, but you did a great job. Thanks for
Thanks.
having me. Excited to be here at the First Mint, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about the sandbox, what we're building, like what my role is, and how, as the session title gives away, like give everyone a little bit of a glimpse of what we're building, and how we want to empower creators. So that's what I'd like to talk a little bit more about. And I have a short presentation that I'm just going to pull up here. So if you bear with me, I'm going to put this up. And essentially, like what I initially said. So my name is Marcus Blasche. I'm the marketing director at the Sandbox. And for those of you, what the Sandbox is originally actually it's an IP that has been founded in 2012 as the Sandbox, which is the name, and released initially like on mobile, which some people don't know, and generated over 40 million downloads on iOS and Android, and over 70 million worlds have been created. So the Sandbox has always been around the creation of worlds and empowering creators. 3 years ago, actually 2 days ago, 3 years on the date, the Sandbox announced its official new birth of the Sandbox that we are working on right now, which is bringing the vision of the Sandbox of empowering creators, building worlds, like letting creativity roam free, and bringing this to the PC platform as well as on the blockchain through the utilization of NFTs. So we have 9 years of experience in user-generated content, and now we're using the power of NFTs of the blockchain to bring all of this together inside the Sandbox. So what the Sandbox is, I'm going to talk a lot about brands, about content, about the economy. So, but essentially, like what we're trying to build is to build this platform, this ecosystem where everyone can essentially create what he wants, how he wants, and be his own boss. So if anyone any one of the viewers watched Ready Player One or read the book, this is without the dystopian backdrop, of course. This is what we're trying to envision to build, which is really building a hub, a virtual world where you log in, and next to you there's maybe a Smurf running around, and then you see a Walking Dead walker next to you. And one of the things why we've chosen NFTs and the blockchain as the core, the backbone of the Sandbox, is the empowerment through to give creators the power to really to evolve what they're building, and being the owner of their creations without having to go through publishers, through a lot of hoops, on just getting not a good revenue share of what they create. They spend hours on it, and for us it's really about using NFTs and empowering creators. We're doing this through various tools. So actually the Sandbox consists out of 4 platforms, 4 games, which is the Sandbox itself, which is a game that will go on alpha in the next 4 to 6 weeks. We have Game Maker, which is a no-code game development tool that can be used to create game experience that will be playable inside the Sandbox. We have a tool that's called Voxedit to create NFTs that are voxel-based, and then you can mint them and put them on our 4th tool, which is the NFT Marketplace. All of this is being supported through the blockchain standards and protocols, and we have our own governance token that's called Sand, which is the key currency inside the Sandbox. So anything that you create, you can list on our marketplace. You can list it for Sand, and as a creator, you get 95% revenue share. So that's really something where we want to make a difference and empower creators and give them the power to decide themselves what they want to monetize and how they're monetizing it. And that is a rough overview of what we're building. One of the things that we have is really we have over 160 brands on board. We have Atari, Square Enix, the Smurfs, Shaun the Sheep, Delta Time, Kingdom. We have Lands. Over 160 are brands are creating a revenue share and creating worlds inside the sandbox. Our last announcement has been The Walking Dead, and as well as Deadmau5, who are both building like exclusive experiences inside the sandbox. And they have acquired land, which is a virtual real estate component that is inside the sandbox, and they are part of our ecosystem. So to repeat a little bit what I've said before, like what is the sandbox? You see here, it's really about create and play, which is covering the tools that I've mentioned before, like socialize and interact. So what differentiates us from other metaverse experiences and other like worlds that you might have seen is that for us, it's really about like the interactivity, the exploration and socialization. So we want to bring a more gameplay focused component on an open world and give you the opportunity to choose yourself if you want to play games that have been designed by other players, want to interact with others in social hubs, or just go shopping for like new NFTs that have been created by other players, or like or customize your avatar. It's all about like exploration and earning. Our business will be play to earn. The alpha will have the first touch of this by giving you the opportunity to complete some missions and earn sand for it. And then as we roll out more openly, we give everyone the opportunity to be part of this play to earn experience. So just essentially like you spend time in the sandbox and you will get rewarded for it in sand that you can then either use to invest into land, into NFTs, or to cash out and earn a new income source. Brands and IPs is something that is a very strong component of the sandbox. As I've shown before, we have over 160 partners that go from the Smurfs, Care Bears, Winklevoss Capital, Deadmau5, Pranksy is part of us, like Binance, CoinMarketCap. It's it's very broad. It's a completely 360 degree, but we want to really build a world where anyone is welcome and where anyone can interact with brands like they could not before. And that's really a part of our DNA. Like it's the future of gaming, and we want to reward everyone for their engagement. How we are doing that is through. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Marcus. I was gonna say that is so cool. I had a quick question about the sand token. So if I make a voxel, or let's say I make a voxel and I'm selling it, can I only sell it for sand, or can I sell it for other currencies too?
No, in theory, you could list it on any marketplace the moment it's listed. If you go now on OpenSea and you search for the sandbox, you will find the majority will be lands. However, there's also some NFT assets that have been minted and published and bought by other players in the past. So through OpenSea, you can purchase it in any currency. However, inside our own marketplace, for now, it's only available through Sand. However, we want to open it up to some other currencies potentially in the future.
I see. And then if I sold something for sand, how would I turn that into Ethereum?
So the how to get this to Ethereum is if you're familiar with tokens or with like crypto wallets, is essentially you have it on your wallet. We are listed with Sand on over 40 exchanges, like crypto exchanges. Except by now it's probably over 50, where you can transfer it to, and then you can do whichever exchange you listed, you can transfer it into your currency of choice and then do a transfer to your bank account theoretically.
Cool, thanks.
So there's 4 main categories of NFTs, which are the in-game assets, which are used as like it could be weapons, power-ups, vehicles, characters, wearables, and more. Think of it as like if anyone like played World of Warcraft or Diablo, any of those games, like you have items, but instead of having them persistent in the game, and the moment you stop playing, they're lost. You keep them. The NFTs, like you can sell them, you can give them to your friends, you can give them to a family member if you don't want to use them anymore, or you keep them and they hopefully increase value because they are either getting a better scarcity or getting a value over time. We don't have trading cards like sports and crypto collectibles, so CryptoKitties, Axes, CryptoPunks, like all of those. We want to give them not only through cards a way to be part of the metaverse, but most recently we announced that we have we're talking to the team at the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and we want to give them the opportunity that if you own, for example, an ape and you log into the sandbox, you will be able to play as your ape. And we have this with various other NFT collections as a possibility that we can read the metadata of each NFT collection, and you will be able to play as that inside the sandbox. So that's really building the bridge between something that is collectible but give it utility inside our virtual world. Which brings me to the next part, which is where this virtual world is happening, and that's like in virtual real estate. Like we have a component that is called land that consists, it's a token as well, that consists of 166,000 pieces of land that are in the sandbox. And there only ever will be 166,000, and there's never gonna be more. And we are releasing them in waves. Actually, today we had a recent land sale. How we call them is where we welcomed partners as the Fabricant, Cyberkongs, MeBits DAO. They acquired pieces of land and they became part of the sandbox today. So it's a very exciting day. And of course, we want to empower artists to bring their creations and their assets and their art into the sandbox, either through a voxelized form or through the opportunity to monetize them through the sandbox, or just display them in virtual museums inside our platform. So there's also domain names, music, and more.
Wow, congratulations on the MeBits DAO. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Like they were very supportive. They got us in quite early, and it's like they have a 3x3 that you can see if you go on sandbox.game, open on the map. So this was all already I wanted to share. I hope it gave a little bit of an overview of what the sandbox is, what we're trying to achieve, and like the talk was really about like how we empower creators, and we want to empower creators in various ways. The most like the lowest hanging fruit, if you see our platform, I think about it, is about like, hey, I'm a game maker or I'm an asset creator and I want to publish something on the platform and earn money for it, which is something that we will support. However, we also want to give the opportunity to create completely new revenue streams. So we have discussions with, for example, we have deadmau5, a very known DJ that wants to host experience like music concerts in the sandbox. We have The Walking Dead that want to build a completely new experience in the sandbox that will be able to like where you have to survive walkers and experience The Walking Dead like you've never before. And but at the same time, like through those IP interactions, we also give creators the way to build games and experiences and worlds that use assets from this IP. So you will be able, for example, to build your own The Walking Dead game, or to then monetize that through land. And if you're a landowner, you can host an experience on you, and you can monetize it by maybe asking for an entry fee, or like for anything that goes into the monetization scene. So we want to, whatever you want to do, we want to find a way to make it possible in the sandbox. That's really our vision, and that's what we want to we hope that we can give everyone the opportunity to do.
Wow, that's really exciting. So if I have, let's say I have a MeBit and I own some land in the sandbox, what would could I create a game with my MeBit that other people come, and let's say it's only for people who have a MeBit, and they can come and interact in my little game that I've created?
Exactly, that will be possible. So actually the MeBits DAO, they purchased a 3x3 estate, which is 9 pieces of land. And actually one land, just to give an idea of size, like one land is roughly the size of 1 hectare, like give or take, like it's 100 by 100 meters. So you can think that they have 9 hectares that they can build something on. And you as a landowner, you can decide what you build on this piece of land, and you can decide who you give access. So you will have the opportunity to say like, hey, this land or this estate, I only want to have access for someone that holds a MeBit in his wallet, and you cannot enter it unless you have this MeBit in the wallet. And that's really a gating mechanism that is that we will offer, and that we want to have offered, to really like foster those communities that want to, like, maybe they want to have an exclusive event only for MeBits or anyone, or maybe they want to have like part of the experience like a clubhouse or something that not everyone should be able to enter, and that definitely will be possible. And there's a lot of projects that actually are planning to do this approach.
And let's say I have a Bored Ape, you had mentioned that as well. And who would actually create the 3D avatar? Would I have to create that, or would you guys provide that for cost, or is it free, or how does that work?
So we have a section on our website that's called Creators for Hire, and on there we have like I think it's half a dozen or maybe even 10 like game studios or like creator studios that specialized on metaverse experience in the voxel world. For the for example CryptoPunks or for the Bored Apes, we are actually exploring the way how we can build a scalable solution that recognizes the traits in the metadata and then automatically attributes them and mix and matches the voxel equivalents that would need to be most of the time created by hand, but we only have to create each part once. So you have an eye patch, you have like a cigar, like you have the 3D glasses, and then through the information that we can read from the metadata, those voxel assets get assembled and they are then yours. And for example, then if you decide to sell your MeBit, your CryptoPunk, your Bored Ape, you will also lose access to this avatar because it's directly linked to the token.
Oh wow, that's cool. And then would the new buyer of that ape be able to instantly get that?
Yes. Yes. For us, it's like we call it the NFT bridge internally. Like it's about interoperability, and that's really what it should be. Like just like by holding a whatever token or every NFT collection token you have, you should get a benefit and use it inside the sandbox and be able to represent it, because that's at end of the day, that's what you're doing on Twitter today. Like you are people are changing their profile picture to the NFT collection that they are most maybe they're most proud of, maybe they're most connected to, and we just want to bring it in a more interactive 3D level. And that's this is what we're currently working on.
Wow, that's great. You're kind of blowing my mind right now with all the possibilities that could go into this.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Just to briefly, like, because you mentioned possibilities, like our vision actually is much broader than that, because like now we talk only about NFT bridges, but we are having like discussions with, for example, like real estate agencies that want to extend their offering into virtual real estate, or we're talking to marketing agencies that want to focus on bringing brands into the metaverse. So we're seeing that there's completely new job streams and revenue streams being created through the sandbox, and we are also we're supporting creators as well. Like we have two funds that we take a 5% transaction fee on any transaction on the sandbox, and 50% of this, or like also 2.5% of this, goes into the treasury, which is being used to support game makers, to the game maker fund, to support the creator fund that is for creators that want to do something, or also investing into NFT collections, like our sandbox vault. I think we're holding 2 CryptoPunks, like 32 Bored Apes, several other projects. So it's something where we want to support the ecosystem. We want to be part of the ecosystem, but we also want to support like new revenue streams and new ways to experience a virtual world and make money.
So when will there be virtual world real estate agents? Do they already exist?
They already exist. So if you go on our map, I think there's several, like I want to stay neutral, but there's some lands and some estates that are from real estate brands, and they are they're buying a couple of pieces of land that they plan to use as part of their offering, like as a virtual offering for brands or for individuals that want to extend their portfolio and maybe invest into a NFT land.
Wow. One other thing I kind of paid attention to that you said earlier, as a collector, I thought it was interesting that you guys capped it at 166,000. Because obviously you don't want to have unlimited land, or else there's no scarcity. I was curious how you guys came up with that, ballpark number, as opposed to, I know another metaverse only has 5,000, and I believe another one is unlimited.
Yeah. It's so we wanted to, like, from the beginning, we wanted to have something where you get a lot of, how you say, a lot of bang for your buck. I think you say it in English. It's so in terms of size, in terms of size, we are I think the metaverse that gives the most square per like cent or currency or ETH, and the amount of 166 is essentially because it's, if you go on the sandbox.game/map, you will see that it's I think it's 200 times like 100 something times 100 something, and it's a square where that is not completely revealed. We revealed today around 60% of our map, and gradually we're going to reveal more until we are in 2022. And the number has been designed with a broad vision that the NFT and the open metaverse will get more and more mainstream adoption. So we want to remain open for new entries, but at the same time we want to give it a hard cap that is quite large, but gives it a certain level of scarcity.
Great. So you've revealed how much did you say 60%?
Yeah, around give or take 60%. We had a land sale today, and we're gonna have our next land sale next week actually, where we're gonna have several some other exciting partners.
And then are there certain areas already that have become kind of more popular? Is there waterfronts or stuff like that?
Yeah. There's no waterfronts. How it's working, and it's really around the brands and building this neighborhood effect. Because for example, I could be neighbor of Deadmau5, or I could be neighbor of the Sandbox social hub that is very centerpieced in the map. And we see that lands that are around like the MeBits DAO, the Bored Apes, Zrun, they are more in demand and they're higher listed on OpenSea than other lands that might be more like community centered. There's still, I think, our floor price is somewhere between 0.2 or 0.3. So there's a very high demand on land still, but we see that the price can vary depending on location.
Great. And how does building on the Sandbox compare to, if you don't mind me comparing it to Crypto Voxels? That's something I've used a little bit and played around with it. Is it a similar kind of interface, or?
So for now, it's a separate client. So you have to download Game Maker, and then you can create your own game experiences in a standalone environment that then can be published. And going forward, you can use it to publish to other players or host it on a piece of land.
I see. So it's totally separate on your PC, and then when you're finished, you kind of upload it.
Yeah, but down the line, we want to have we want to explore like how we can have co-building and make it more a fluid experience.
Great. And are there different parcel sizes, or do you just are they all uniform? You just buy a bunch of them at one time if you want a bigger spot?
Yeah, very good question. So the minimum size that you can buy is a 1x1, which is one piece of land that has a static price of 1,000 sand, roughly. I think it's 1,011. And then either you purchase multiple lands and then you combine them to a minimum 3x3, which is the smallest estate size that we have, which is, for example, like the MeBits DAO that we talked about. They have a 3x3, I believe. And then there's three other ones that are 6x6, so 36 hectare in size. It can then go to 12x12 or 24x24, which is the biggest estate size. So if you're familiar, for example, with Cyberkongs or MetaKey, those are brands that acquired a 24x24. And for us, it's really like it's great to see, because we see a lot of engagement around like what people want to build on their lands. And of course, like I talk a lot about brands, but however, there's also a lot of community movement going on that like brands and individuals, like they want to build museums, they want to build game experiences, they want to build like stadiums just to hang out or host experiences in the future. And that's something that we're really excited about, like to see those different areas that people explore and they want to get towards. And really like we want to, like, if you can build, like we want to give you the opportunity to build something that you believe in and that you want to have. And then you maybe find someone that is not a game maker, but he wants to create assets. So he's building something for your game experiences or your social hub that will be beneficial to the experience that you want to give to users. And then you invite all of them, like regular users, to interact with your world. You can earn money for it. You can ask for an entry fee. You can give it for free, like it could be a free-to-play model. But we really want to give everyone the possibility and the freedom to approach it like the way he wants and to do it the way he wants. And that's like, I say that a lot, but creators and the creator-centered approach is really something that is on our mind. Like 2 or 3 months ago, we opened our NFT marketplace in a curated form with just over 100 voxel creators, and we published NFTs. And I think like after 3 weeks, we already paid out to those creators over 500,000 USD that has been split amongst them. So there's a demand on voxel designs. Like the marketplace is performing very well, and we really see that there is a growing interest in, first of all, NFTs. We like everyone here knows, but also like bringing utility to those NFTs, because they're not just a token that is on the blockchain, but they are actually something that gives you utility or value that you can use either as a wearable, as a car, as a house. Like anything can be an NFT in the sandbox, and that's really what it's all about. Like you see that in like branded behind me, like all of those are player creations that can be monetized or can be created or can be traded, and that's really what we are trying to build.
Wow. Have you guys had any fairly, big name artists come into the space yet and do creations of, like for example, a Hackatao come in there and create a bunch of Hackatao avatars that you could buy or something like that?
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned Hackatao, but he is working on an experience right now. And if you go on our Medium and you search for Hackatao, you will find a preview of it and what his vision is, which is really like, I think, I believe it was about the empowerment of women and having an adventure in this area. So Hackatao is one of the artists. We are talking as well to several other artists like that are more from a creative standpoint and that want to use voxel to bring their vision to a like in a 3D environment or in a voxel environment, but also on our YouTube channel and our social media, like we shared videos of Deadmau5, who was who's doing concerts in the sandbox, and we had one concert that we used to create a video, and it's something that is completely new and hasn't been it has been done before by other games, of course, that engaged with artists to create experiences in the sandbox, but we want to bring this to a one step further by not just giving it an experience, but also like engaging creators more, because for example, now all of a sudden you could build something that is being used by a musician to customize his stage.
Oh, wow. Well, I could talk to you all day about this, Marcus, but we're running out of time.
Yeah.
A real quick point I wanted to bring up, we got 25 seconds or so, but someone had mentioned what server are these stored on? And I thought that brought up a good point that, if you could just speak real quick about how it's decentralized.
Yeah, so right now we're using the Ethereum mainnet. However, we're going to switch to Polygon as we are around a transaction-based NFTs, and we want to use the power of Polygon to have a scalable solution when it comes about transactions.
Great. So these things are stored decentralized in a decentralized fashion. It's not on one server.
No, it's decentralized. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I hope it was useful and I could answer some questions. If you have more questions, sandbox.game or send me a message directly.
All right. Thanks, Marcus.